In ancient times, long before the birth of the famed Hercules, Zeus defeated the Titans and imprisoned them beneath the earth. Since then, life, both for gods and mortals, became more peaceful. Stepping away from his heroic deeds, Zeus met Hera, and together they had a child, Hercules. The boy was born strong and brave, much to his father's delight. To keep him company, Zeus created Pegasus, a winged horse. Nothing could disturb Hercules' happiness, except for Zeus's treacherous brother, Hades. Hades ruled the underworld. He had two bumbling minions, Pain and Panic, who ran errands and helped him execute his dark plan to overthrow Zeus and seize Mount Olympus. However, a prophecy warned that only Hercules could stop him once he came of age during the rare alignment of the planets. To prevent this, Hades devised a scheme to ensure that Hercules would never grow up. He sent Pain and Panic to kidnap the child, make him mortal, and kill him. The minions abducted baby Hercules and gave him a potion that would turn him mortal if he drank every last drop. But one drop remained, and before they could finish the job, a human couple found the crying baby. Startled, Pain and Panic dropped the bottle and it shattered. They tried to kill Hercules by turning into snakes, but the boy easily defeated them. And so Hercules was left in the care of two ordinary humans, who raised him as their own. As a youth, Hercules possessed incredible strength, but lacked control. He constantly broke things and caused chaos, making others avoid him. Even his peers and adults kept their distance. His adoptive father tried to comfort him, but Hercules didn't want consolation. He wanted answers. So he left home and went to the Temple of Zeus to seek guidance from the gods. To his surprise, Zeus himself answered. Zeus revealed the truth. Hercules was his son, stolen as an infant and turned mortal. Because of that, he could no longer live on Olympus. But there was a way back. Hercules had to become a true hero by accomplishing a truly great deed. Since he didn't know how to be a hero, Zeus sent him to a legendary trainer named Philoctetes, or Phil for short. To help on his journey, Zeus reunited him with Pegasus, now fully grown and eager to see his old friend. Hercules found Phil spying on some nymphs in the bushes. Phil turned out to be a satyr, half man, half goat, now retired and disillusioned. He had trained many heroes in the past, but all had failed to live up to their potential. He was reluctant to take on a new student. However, Zeus made it clear that Phil would regret refusing, so Phil reluctantly agreed. Together, Phil and Hercules cleared out an old training ground and began intense hero training. Phil taught him agility, control, and how to save damsels in distress. Once Hercules was strong and skilled enough, Phil decided it was time to gain real experience. He sent them to Thebes, a city overrun by monsters and crime, an ideal place to prove himself. Pegasus flew them there. On the way, they heard a woman in danger. A massive centaur had captured her. Without hesitation, Hercules leapt to her rescue, though the woman didn't seem to need it. Hercules fought the centaur and won. The woman introduced herself as Megara, or simply Meg. She was beautiful and charming, and Hercules immediately fell for her. But Phil reminded him of their mission: heroic deeds, not romance. They continued to Thebes, while Meg returned to Hades. It was he who had sent her to the centaur to try and recruit him. Meg had sold her soul to Hades, and now worked for him, hoping to earn it back. She explained that Hercules interfered with the mission. Realizing Pain and Panic had failed to kill Hercules, Hades grew alarmed, but since Hercules was mortal, he could still be defeated. Hercules, Phil, and Pegasus arrived in Thebes, but the locals didn't care about him. No one believed he was a real hero. That changed when Meg arrived with urgent news. Two boys were trapped by a fallen boulder. Hercules rushed to help. Behind him, the townspeople followed, curious to see a spectacle. He rescued the boys easily, unaware they were Pain and Panic in disguise. The boulder had sealed the cave of the Hydra, a terrifying monster. Once freed, it attacked. Instead of fear, Hercules saw an opportunity to prove himself. He battled the Hydra, and after a fierce fight, emerged victorious. instantly becoming a citywide celebrity. Hades sent wave after wave of monsters, but Hercules defeated them all. He became a living legend, admired by women, idolized by men, and turned into merchandise for kids. Despite the fame, he remained kind and humble. He even built a new home for his adoptive parents. With no monsters left, Hades sent Meg to find Hercules' weakness. Though she intended to manipulate him, Meg found herself genuinely charmed by Hercules' courage, kindness, and honesty. She started falling for him. But when Hercules asked Zeus to let him return to Olympus, the god refused. "Strength alone doesn't make a true hero," he said. "It takes a selfless heart." And Hercules hadn't yet proven that. Since Meg couldn't uncover his weakness, Hades used her as bait. Phil overheard her talking to Hades and rushed to warn Hercules. But Hercules, blinded by love, didn't believe him and sent Phil away. Then Hades appeared and offered a deal. He'd release Meg if Hercules gave up his strength. Hercules agreed, with one condition: Meg must not be harmed. Hades accepted, but revealed Meg had been working for him all along. Now, the planetary alignment had begun. With its power, Hades located the prison of the Titans, freed them, and set them loose on Olympus. He sent one Titan to eliminate Hercules. The gods were overwhelmed and captured, including Zeus himself. Seeing Hercules in danger, Meg freed Pegasus and rode off to find Phil. Together they returned to help. By then, Hercules was already fighting the Titan. Though weakened, he used his wits and brought the monster down. Just as victory was near, a pillar began to fall. Meg pushed Hercules out of the way but was crushed herself. She survived, but barely. Hercules tried to save her but lacked the strength, until suddenly it returned. Meg explained that the deal only held as long as she remained unharmed. Now that she was injured, the contract was broken. She urged him to save Olympus. Hercules soared to the heavens, freed the gods, and together they defeated the Titans, flinging them into space. Hades fled, but Meg's injuries proved fatal. She died in Phil's arms, her soul descending into the underworld. Hercules followed. Hades mocked him, saying no one could return from the river of lost souls. But Hercules insisted. He made a new deal. If he could bring Meg back, he would stay behind. His self-sacrifice was the act of a true hero, and with it, his divine power returned. He survived the whirlpool of souls and rescued Meg's spirit. Furious, Hades tried to stop him, but fell into the vortex himself, dragged down by the very souls he ruled. Hercules restored Meg's soul to her body. She came back to life.